Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is, we are from group 5. In this video, we will explain we are ISIS. The title is Voice Authentication Implementation. My name is Raihan Rizky Aksol and there is my partner. His name is Musa Habibur Rahman. Table of contents. The first is acknowledgement. The second is introduction. The third is basic theory. The fourth is problem domain, and the fifth is conclusion and suggestion. The first is acknowledgement. First of all, thanks to Allah for all His grace, so that this paper can be arranged to completion. Not forgetting, we also say a lot of gratitude for the help of those who have contributed by contributing both of material and mind. They are our parents, Mrs. Indah Ayu Yuliani, and the third is other parties that help us in doing the research and finding sources of information and reference, such as bloggers, websites, and journal or book authors. Introduction. In this big topic about security system, we are motivated to do more research around a theme that has great opportunities in the future to be used in various fields. System security encompasses all facets of accessing information assets, from authentication to software updates, antivirus protection, and modification. Security is a key component to a device operating at its optimum. These best practices help to mitigate various security concerns. Background, and this is the basic theory. Biometrics technology. Biometrics refers to the automatic identification or verification of an individual or a claimed identity by using certain psychological or behavioral traits associated with the person. The definition of voice recognition. Voice recognition is a technique in computing technology by which specialized software and systems are created to identify, distinguish, and authenticate the voice of an individual speaker. How voice recognition works? Voice recognition work. The first is capture user's voice sample, and after that send voice sample to biometric engine, and after that create a voice template from the sample, and finally is may merge multiple templates to create a voice print. A brief history of voice recognition. In 50s and 90s until 90s, in the history of voice recognition technology, this was an era of baby talk. Only numbers and digits could be comprehended. In 70s, the DARPA SUR, or Speech Understanding Research program. As a result, Harpy was developed by Carnegie Mellon, which had the ability to comprehend 111 words. In 80s, a major breakthrough was the development of the hidden Markov model, which used statistics to determine the probability of a word originating from an unknown sound. In 90s, with the introduction of faster microprocessors, voice recognition technology became feasible. And in 200s, by 201, speech recognition technology development had hit a plateau until Google came along.
The next session we will discuss about problem analysis. Next slide. Voice authentication by ID voice on mobile devices. ID voice. What is ID voice? ID voice is ID RN Research and Development Company. It's a robust AI-driven biometric voice recognition engine that provides both text-dependent and text-independent voice verification for mobile, web, and telephone channels, as well as physical access to an IoT device integration. The product is built on an innovative convolutional neural network and advanced modified X vector approach for feature extraction technology for unmatched accuracy and the industry-leading benchmark challenge. How can ID voice its work? It works with two ways of verification, two ways authors put to voice biometric in practice. The first is text independent voice verification. This approach does not depend on the person speaking a particular passphrase. The other is text dependent voice verification, in which the user enrolls using a specific parse, but unlike the password, this parse is not secret. Next. How ID voice work? First, the workflow of ID voice is first is pick a short passphrase 3 times before start the process, and second is capture user's voice sample, and the next is send voice sample to biometric engine. The fourth is create a voice template for the sample, and then the last is compare the new template to the enrolled voice print. If the voice and passphrase is correct, the verification is correct. The features, software features. First is the text dependent X and text independent modes. The second is used with any language. No tuning or training data is necessary to operate in any country. And the other is industry-leading matching algorithm for enrollment, verification, and identification. Next slide. Voice biometric in banking industry. Biometrics in banking is at an inflection point with improvement in technology on almost daily basis, making it an extremely compelling option for both banks and their clients. Next. Um, in banking, there are many cases that using voice biometrics. There are first is in public services. Banks offer social security products like insurance and pension that require proof of life authentication when the payment are disbursed. Rather than asking people to come in, their voices can be used. The biometric technology can identify over 140 features of human voices to make identification reliable and tamper-proof. Contact centers. Hundreds of calls received in the call center every day, and the agents have to spend nearly 5 minutes to authenticate the user. Which is frustrating for the customers. Conversation AI is already transforming the call centers by providing a seamless customer experience. Voice biometrics can further simplify the interaction. It can validate the customer identify when dealing with sensitive case. The calling waiting time reduced, making everything more efficient. And the last is automating simple queries. Accessibility of banking is a major concern worldwide. Developing countries have large section of the population that cannot physically visit branches, even for simple things like checking their balance. while many are not savvy enough to use apps to do so. Those with disabilities of sight are also disadvantaged in this regard. Voice biometric make it convenient to carry on their day-to-day tasks securely. Next slide. Advantage and disadvantage. The advantage is first widely accessible for authentication on mobile phones, given that iPhones have microphones. The second is effective to integrate into other devices such as automobiles and home appliances. The third is convenient and familiar for most users. The five contactless and therefore less invasive and more hygienic. The sixth useful for phone-based use case used as customer service. And the last more secure because of the two-way verification. So, but for the disadvantage of using voice recognition by ID voice and others is first not as accurate as the other biometric modalities, example facial recognition. The second is require liveness detection to verify that a sample is from a live speaker and not a recording. The third, background noise can impact the quality of the sample and in turn matching performance. Thus, the last not ideal for all informants, like example noisy or public spaces. The last session we will talk about conclusion and suggestion. In the conclusion, in the end, this technology is not technology like other biometric technology. It's a solution that allows to combine with other biometric technology to make the system more secure and fully usable. Early adoption of next-gen technology like voice biometric can help accelerate the modernization of the money industry, keeping it poised to hold the attention of the millennial and Gen Z customer who are its future. The suggestion combining with other system is surefire step to get perfect security. This voice-based biometric will increase the effectiveness of the system in recognizing quickly and without touching or remembering password. But in the other hand, it still needs to be patched considering the various shortcomings. In this case, biometrics with different base can improve this. Maybe that's all from us. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.